He was my best friend, but he stole my girlfriend. I never thought jealousy could live so close to me. I never thought my best friend, the person I trusted most, the one who knew everything about me, would one day be the same person who stole everything I had worked for. His name was Ethan, and we had known each other since we were 12. We went to the same middle school, played on the same soccer team, and even shared the same dream of one day making it big. To everyone else, it looked like we were inseparable, brothers more than friends. And for a long time, I believed that too. But looking back, I see the little signs, the small smirks when I succeeded, the quick changes in conversation when people praised me, the way he always had to compare himself to me, even when no one was asking for it. At the time, I brushed it off. That's what best friends do, right? They tease, they compete, they push each other. I thought that was all it was. Things started to shift when I began dating Emily. She wasn't just any girl. She was the kind of person who lit up a room. She laughed with her whole body, and she believed in me in ways I had never believed in myself. Ethan smiled when I introduced her, made his usual jokes, and even told me I had finally leveled up. But later, I started noticing the looks he gave her when he thought I wasn't paying attention. At first, I told myself I was imagining it. Ethan was my best friend. He would never cross that line. But one night at a party, I caught him leaning a little too close when talking to her. She laughed, and for a second, I felt like an outsider watching them. I shook it off, but deep down, something inside me twisted. Ethan had this way of making everything a competition. If I bought new shoes, he had to get better ones. If I got a good grade, he had to get higher. When Emily and I hit our 1-year anniversary, he joked that he would have beaten me to it if he had met her first. Everyone laughed, but I didn't. I should have paid attention, because little by little, Ethan wasn't just competing with me, he was undermining me. He'd make sly comments in front of Emily about my flaws. "Don't trust him with directions, he always gets lost," he'd say. Or, "Matt's great, but he never follows through on his plans." They seemed harmless at the time, but I started to notice the way Emily's smile would falter, the way doubt would flicker across her eyes. I told myself it was nothing, that Ethan was just being Ethan. But the truth is, he was planting seeds, seeds that would eventually grow into the betrayal that destroyed everything. And the worst part? I didn't see it coming until it was far too late. The cracks started to widen, but I was too blind, or maybe too trusting, to notice how deep they went. Ethan became a constant presence in my relationship with Emily. At first, I didn't think much of it. He'd tag along when we went out to eat, show up at our movie nights, even crash on my couch after long weekends. I figured it was just Ethan being Ethan. He had always hated being alone. But slowly, it felt less like he was my friend hanging out and more like he was inserting himself between me and Emily. One evening, Emily and I had planned a quiet dinner at my apartment. Just us. No distractions. But halfway through cooking, there was a knock at the door. Of course, it was Ethan. He walked in like he owned the place, grabbed a beer from my fridge, and sat down at the table without even asking. I was irritated, but Emily brushed it off with a laugh. "He's just comfortable here," she said. That became the pattern. Whenever I wanted time alone with her, he would appear. Whenever I tried to talk to her about something serious, Ethan would somehow be there, cracking jokes, changing the subject, making himself the center of attention. And Emily, she started to change too. She used to call me late at night, just to hear my voice before bed. But then, I'd call, and she wouldn't pick up. She'd text back hours later with excuses. "Sorry, busy," or "I was tired." I wanted to believe her. I wanted to hold on to the trust we had built. But I couldn't ignore the way she laughed harder at Ethan's jokes than at mine, the way her eyes lingered on him sometimes. One night, I confronted Ethan about it. "Do you like her?" I asked, half joking, trying to keep my voice light. He smirked. "Come on, man, she's your girlfriend." But then he added, "You can't blame me for noticing she's amazing. You're lucky, Matt." Something in his tone made my stomach drop. It wasn't admiration, it was envy. From then on, I started to feel like a third wheel in my own relationship. I'd be talking, and Emily's attention would drift to Ethan. If we made plans, Ethan somehow got invited. And when I finally tried to put my foot down, telling Emily I wanted more time with just the two of us, She looked at me like I was being unreasonable. "He's your best friend," she said. "Why are you acting jealous?" Jealous. The word stung. Because the truth was, I wasn't jealous without reason. Ethan was crossing lines, and Emily couldn't or wouldn't see it. The tension kept building until one night it finally snapped. Emily canceled on me last minute, saying she was too tired to go out. I believed her, until I got a call from another friend. He told me he had just seen Emily at a bar downtown, and she wasn't alone. She was with Ethan. My chest tightened, my hands shook. 1,000 thoughts raced through my mind: denial, anger, fear. I grabbed my keys and drove, heart pounding, to see for myself. And what I saw that night shattered something inside me. The bar was loud, full of music and laughter, but all of it blurred into static the moment I walked in and spotted them. Ethan and Emily sat close together in a booth, their heads tilted toward each other, her hand resting on his arm. She was laughing, really laughing, that kind of laughter I hadn't seen from her in weeks. And the way Ethan looked at her, it wasn't how a best friend should look at someone else's girlfriend. My heart slammed against my ribs. For a few seconds, I just stood there, frozen, hoping maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was just the angle. Maybe I was misinterpreting everything. But then Ethan leaned in, whispering something in her ear, and she smiled in a way that made me feel like a stranger. I snapped. I walked over, my fists clenched, and slammed my hand on the table. "So this is what you meant by being tired?" I said, my voice shaking. Emily's face went pale. Ethan smirked, like he had been waiting for me to catch them. "Matt, it's not what it looks like," Emily stammered, but the guilt in her eyes betrayed her. "Really?" I shot back. "Because it looks exactly like you've been lying to me. Both of you." Ethan leaned back, calm as ever, like this was some kind of game. "Maybe you should relax, man. You've been too controlling lately. Emily deserves someone who actually listens to her." His words were like a knife twisting in my chest. This was my best friend, the guy who had stood by me for years, openly undermining me, right in front of the girl I loved. "Don't you dare talk to me about listening," I spat. "You've been waiting for this moment, haven't you? Always jealous, always competing, and now you think you've won." Emily's eyes filled with tears. She tried to reach for my hand, but I pulled away. "Matt, please. I didn't mean for this to happen." But I couldn't hear her anymore. My ears were ringing, my vision blurred. All I could see was Ethan, the smug look on his face, the betrayal in his smile. I left the bar without another word. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. The two people I trusted most had ripped my world apart in one night. In the weeks that followed, they made it official. Ethan and Emily started dating, parading their relationship around like it was something pure, something real. Friends who had once been ours stopped calling me, unsure of whose side to take. I felt like I had lost everything: my best friend, my girlfriend, my sense of home. But slowly, I began to see it differently. Ethan hadn't stolen anything from me. Emily had chosen him. She had betrayed me just as much as he had. And maybe, just maybe, losing them both was the best thing that could have happened. Because if this was who they truly were, then I was better off without them. The scars are still there. The betrayal still haunts me. But I've learned something vital. Some people will cheer for you to your face while secretly waiting for you to fall. And when they finally reveal themselves, you realize their absence is a blessing in disguise. Ethan wanted everything I had, and in the end, he got it: my girlfriend, my trust, my friendship. But what he'll never have is my peace.
If this story kept you hooked until the very end, don't forget to subscribe to Storybar, give this video a like, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below. Your support helps us bring you even more stories full of drama, betrayal, love, and life-changing decisions. Don't miss the next one.